What I would tell somebody coming up, especially a poet, to pursue their passion, I would say what my mentors told me. You got to know who you are. So that means you got to study. I think a lot of times people look at videos on YouTube and they, oh, I can do that. You got to go back and study. You got to read. You got to read Nikki Giovanni. You got to read Langston Hughes. You got to read William Blake. You know, you got to really get into what they were doing. And I promise you that will be the bridge to go where you go. And then sometimes go to readings and don't read, just listen. You know, don't feel like you have to step on the stage every time. Listen. And then the most important thing is to just don't try to carbon copy what you're doing from other people. Look inside, find that voice, put it on page, and let it come out your mouth.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Vanessa Fuentes, Mayor Pro Tem here in the city of Austin, and I'm very proud to be here today to recognize Austin's first Poet Laureate. This policy is one that is deeply personal for me because it is community driven. It was actually brought forward from a constituent of mine, KB Brookins, who did a lot of advocacy, a lot of organizing around this, really wanted to make sure that Austin established our program, ensure that we're uplifting our creative arts and doing so much for cultural arts in our city. And so I just want to give a shout out to them and for their hard work, because they were really instrumental in us bringing forward this policy, making sure we passed it as a program of Austin Public Library, and to ensure that we had the necessary funding. So with this, it's my honor to introduce Zell Miller III. He is a poet, a theater artist, and a creative force known for his thought-provoking works that explore identity, culture, and the human experience. With a passion for storytelling and performance, Miller has made a significant contribution to the arts, particularly in the realms of poetry and theater. In 2004, he was voted the best poet writer by the Austin Chronicle. And in 2017, he was inducted to the Austin Arts Hall of Fame. A little shout out for that. His poetic work is deeply influenced by his personal experiences in the broader social and political landscapes. He has toured nationally and internationally as a performer. He has opened for legendary artists like Nikki Giovanni and The Last Poets. Zell's poetry often weaves together elements of history, race, and emotion, creating powerful narratives that resonate with audiences. As a theater artist, he has utilized his unique voice to craft performances that challenge conventional boundaries and encourage reflections on societal issues. Miller's approach to both poetry and theater is marked by an intense focus on language, rhythm, and the connection between the artist and the audience. His performance style was taught to him by his mentor, Lori Carlos, and is steeped in the jazz aesthetic. Whether performing on stage or sharing his written work, he brings a raw and genuine energy to his art, drawing viewers into the intimate spaces he creates with his words and movements. An open book, Miller loves to say that his greatest creations are his children, Zell IV and Marley, and his relationship with his amazing partner, Ashley Miller. With that, please help me welcome Austin Poet Laureate, Zell Miller III.
1, 2, 1, 2. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, oh man, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, we're gonna do like 2 pieces. Make the night hot bright with these sync I sent decibels. Rider of the thunder, I make the earth quake like I'm Hannibal. Equalization in the balance of my mother's eyes. When I submit the wisdom, I give space for the sun to rise. And I'm skipping amethyst rocks across the surface of the sun toward my oxygen crops in the light side of Mars. I watch them Saturnites close because they sent the earth to be a rock and a rock star. I lace instrumented sounds with subliminal freedom, and I vacation on Pluto when solstice. Anticipate parabolic curves in unison. I am the what was before Solomon translated my songs, I used to whistle it to him. Before he touched the earth's ground, bound by rosary beads of Jupiter's sacred stones, we moan in unison to the rotation of the third sun. I keep my time ship idle. I slip between matter because of my gray matter. I ship-shape the hollow drums. A piece of my soul that stirs every time we come. I'm looking to reshape these dead trees. I give them new life with new inscriptions and numerologies and new dimensions, and we sanctify the blessings of deep breath. I taught the wind How to race. Running water in stationary position. I'm waiting on thieves in the tip of the drink so I can be poisoned. Like I said, I taught the wind how to race. I said, running water in stationary position. I'm waiting on thieves in the temple to drink so they can be poisoned. Overcoming death is easy when you understand what you are living for. I, moon trace amongst your face. Retrieve my identity in the soft places of your smile. I find divinity. The passion comes in threes. I'm the pleasure principle to these moments. When your quiet stare, it says a novel to me. And I am on again. And I am on again. And I am witness to the night, cousin to the silence, sister to the sun. We be the penetration of the drum. And the conversations, they're happening over fizzling cocoa beans. Me in saggy jeans and questions. You in comfortable fabric and perfection. And stroking the inside of your hand, Ashley. I have no choice but to say, well, man. And the morning stirs in your eyes is the sunrise. Vampire I be, but we sleep in noisy times because warriors, poetic warriors, can only be conquered by truth. And withheld in your kiss, Ashley, is the correctness of God. And it is there that allows me to rest easy to you. B, a meditation unto thyself. B, a meditation unto thyself. B, the second letter of the alphabet, a verb, a process, a noun, a reminder that when things get heavy or heated that you can just be. You can be in the space between it all. You can find a moment to take a breath before you speak. But remember, no matter what comes out of your mouth, you must always be unapologetically you. Be clear that you are never alone, that you are a piece of a jigsaw puzzle waiting to be found. And trust the universe, she will always find you. Be ready for the real reality. Be clear that you are loved, that you are needed, and you are worthy. And all we will ever ask of you is that you be yourself. But if you don't feel like that, then we want you to be, and we will honor that. But you can be loud, be sad, be happy, be depressed, be the beat, be the second beat to somebody's heartbeat. Be bold, be terrified, be calm, be confused. Be the boom in the bap, be the kick in the drum, be the bass in the line, be the guitar and the solo. Be the body politic. Stand on both sides of the aisle. Be a pronoun or not. Be your dreams and not somebody's vision for you. Be the vessel and the spirit and the push for yourself first, then blast that energy out into the universe. Be the basketball bounce and the ankles breaking. Be the one that stands up and says, free Palestine. Be your own high five. Dance when the world is singing. Stand up and speak out against violence done to those who walk in the shadows. Be the boss and the employee. Be the meek and the strong. Be a spectacular somebody that helps a somebody spectacular make it to the next moment. And when you have said all that you can say, when you have done all that you can do, dear one, when the moon decides to rise, then we need you to be still, be calm, be dream-filled, be recharged. Because when the sun decides to smile, we need you to be up. We need you to be willing. We need you to be ready. And we need you to be able and capable for the fight because you deserve it. Because you, dear one, you were handcrafted by the creatress, placed here in this moment so that your light can illuminate our future. So we need you to be here and not be gone by your own hand. We need you to be. It is a meditation unto thyself. It's the second letter of the alphabet. It is a verb, a process, a noun. Be a meditation unto thyself. Be a meditation unto thyself. Help me out. I'm going to say be. Y'all say a meditation unto thyself. Be a meditation unto thyself. Be 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 a meditation, a meditation, a meditation, a meditation, a meditation, a meditation.
Incredible. Can we have our poet laureate back over here? We have special recognition. Thank you. That was incredible. And, now that we have officially established the poet laureate, they will be able to travel around our city for the next few years and represent our city and do performances on behalf of our colleagues here. We wanted to share this proclamation. Be it known that whereas poet laureate positions have existed in cities, states, and countries since the 1600s to be stewards of poetry in the communities through programs that positively impact the general public. And whereas the Library Foundation has led a successful youth poet laureate program to identify and uplift young writers since 2021 as part of the National Youth Poet Laureate Program with support from the Austin Public Library. And whereas the Austin City Council, in determining that the public would benefit from an official poet laureate who uses poetry as a way to promote literacy across the city and to integrate poetry into the fabric of Austin's history, politics, and culture, issued a resolution directing the city manager to establish the Adult Poet Laureate Program to be housed in and managed by the Austin Public Library Department. And whereas the Austin Public Library worked with the Economic Development Department, the Library Commission, the Arts Commission, and other local literary organizations and community members to develop the program and selection criteria. And whereas the Austin Public Library saw applications from qualified local poets and received 40 such submissions, this committee has named its choice for Austin's first ever poet laureate. That's right. And whereas Zell Miller III has lived in Austin since he was 4 years old, is a member of the Austin Arts Hall of Fame, was voted by the Austin Chronicle as the best poet in 2004, and is an active member of Austin's poetry and theater communities. And whereas Zell has built a career fostering inclusivity among diverse communities, and as poet laureate will collaborate with local literacy programs, organizations, schools, and libraries to expand access to poetry. And we'll have the mayor do the honors.
Grace, thank you. Now, therefore, I, Kirk Watson, mayor of the city of Austin, Texas, on behalf of the entire city council and the citizens of the city of Austin, Texas, do hereby proclaim April 10th, 2025 as Zell Miller III Day in Austin, Texas.
I do have a social media. It is Miller, M-I-L-L-E-R, Zell, Z-E-L-L on Instagram. And I believe it's the same thing on Facebook as well. Now, folks can also find out what's going on with the laureate position if they go to the Austin Public Library website. But I pretty much make videos because I think that people, when I'm posting, like they don't really read. People don't read anymore. So I'll make a video and people seem to really respond to that. So we do got some stuff coming up. And hopefully with this laureate position, it's going to open doors for me that didn't open before. And so of course, my job is to spread literature, love of poetry. So in doing that, for me, job one is to make sure that this position doesn't go away. So, and I'm laying the groundwork and the track work. So that's job one. And then also I want to bring light to these poets because poetry is really kind of like a second or third or fourth tier performance model. And so people frequently will say, hey, Zell, can you come do a poem at this event? And I'm like, okay, well, what's your budget? Oh, you want to get paid? Oh, absolutely. I'm not want to get paid. I'm going to get paid. So, so here's my budget, and so the idea that poetry is something you can just throw away, it's, so I want to bring back up to that level. Cause at one point we were doing really strong. Mike Henry of the Austin Slam had it going on. And then there was another reading called Neo Soul. And so poetry is really hot for a minute. So I want to bring that fire back.